All right. Uh, give it a little bit. Pull trip when. Talk to outdated. He's here on the call with me now.
Yo, yo, yo.
And we're currently looking at his website that he built himself, right?
Yep.
So, yeah, so you mainly do like web development, I guess, right?
Recently, yes, but I also do graphic designing and stuff like that.
Huh. Yeah, I'm just gonna go through. Oh, this is cool. I like the Neo, called Neo website.
Nayo, yep.
Nio.
Yeah, they never paid me, so
Oh,
but I
really?
still like the website. Yeah, I still like the website, so I just have it there.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it says in the note right there. I took down the website obviously,
Oh yeah, okay.
and yeah.
Yeah. That sucks, dude. That's a conversation for later, for sure. I want to hear that story. Oh, Vicinity, that's cool.
Yep.
Oh, that's really nice. Like a full-on clothing brand. Sick.
Yep.
They're from Germany?
Yes. I didn't realize that they were so well known
Are they that well
until I
known?
did. Yeah, I completed the whole website and I realized that they are like a huge deal. Uh,
Oh, really?
it was actually one of my friends who introduced me to the owner, and we like started talking in chat. And we have this thing at uni where we basically go out for a few days
Hmm?
with like our whole class and shit like that. I
Uh,
luckily I had my laptop on me and I completed that website in like a week or some shit like that.
oh, no.
So yeah, it's crazy. It's
Yeah.
crazy that I did it, but yeah, they did some changes later down the line as well. So
Uh,
um, I believe I completed the website and then they did a few changes after that too. But
uh,
for the most part, it is like majority of it is done by me.
this is cool, man. I like the clothes, and I like that the website
Yep.
is really cool. Pretty. I like your style with like building websites because it's pretty basic, but it feels like very well.
Mm-hmm.
The UI feels very clean and like easy.
Mm-hmm. I mean, that's what I try to aim at right now. Like at this point in time, I was like this dude who like to do some like creative shit with the website and stuff like that.
Hmm?
Recently, I've switched over completely to this whole minimalistic style
Yeah.
where it's like all the information you need is on the screen,
Yeah.
and I don't want to like overwhelm you with like extra info and stuff like that. So yeah.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I like the you like it. I like your personal website too. You had a different
Hmm.
one before, right? With like the called the cross as like your
Yep, yep.
cursor.
As the cursor. Yep.
Yeah, yeah, I like that one.
I think I can still get that for you.
You had the blue, like blue accent colors, right?
E-
It was bl
no, it is black and white.
oh, black and white. I thought it was. I thought it had blue in there as well. I don't know,
Uh,
but yeah.
that's like that's the website for my brand or my studio, I would say.
Okay.
Um, yeah,
Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah. This your suit. Yeah, okay.
yeah. That's the website. That's the link to my old portfolio, I would say. This is what I used to send out to people when that also has my old website documented. So yeah.
Oh yeah.
I'm still like into this whole brutalism stuff. Mm.
Oh, I see. Yeah, your raw like personal project, like brute.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That has a lot of brutalism references in it.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's really. I like the fractals, the Julian Mandelbrot sets.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so this was so one of my professors, um well, they recently left the university, but he taught me for both the semesters for the first year. He ended up organizing this really cool art exhibition,
Okay.
and he really wanted me to be a part of it. And me coming from this whole science background where I've learned science in my 11th and 12th grade.
Yeah.
So that's how it works in India, if you didn't know, by the way. So
No,
you
I
get
don't
to
know. Yeah.
choose, yeah, so you get to choose like a stream where, which basically sort of allows you to go to further fields in the similar stream.
Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
they are basically classified into three different parts. One is science, one is arts, and then the other one is commerce. So
Oh, okay.
finance and science and arts.
Yeah.
I was a science student, but I ended up in art once again. Um, but yeah, this whole science stuff comes from there. All this maths and like all this coding stuff comes from there. So yeah,
It's really cool. Yeah, I've
um,
been
I
looking. I've been working
yeah, no, go on.
with like Julia, and Julia said some Mandelbrots as well lately.
Mm-hmm.
It's like such a. I used Mandelbulb 3D. I don't know if you know the program.
I don't know the program, but I know what a Mandel bulb is.
Yeah, it's wait. I can pull it up on the stream. Will people are interested? Mandelbulb 3. Here we go. All right. I can stream
I
to well, by the way, so you can see.
Okay. I think they are only able to see the Firefox browser.
I think now they're seeing. I'm sharing my like full monitor, if I'm correct. It's gonna take. Oh yeah, yeah. There we go. Yeah. So
Mm-hmm.
this is like Mandelbulb 3D. So it's like you use like your formulas, to, for example, to calculate 3D, and then like here you get
Oh,
like this is like it's an insanely powerful program to like
I
uh,
didn't realize that.
make like really quick cool. Like you can open like pre-made like complete 3D scenes like this.
Oh, I know they use some like man or like some sort of fractal in the Guardians of the Galaxy movie.
Yeah, yeah. I think in Quantum, what's the Ant-Man?
Oh
Any?
yeah, Ant-Man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they use some fractals there as well. Yeah, but yeah, this is basically just like yeah, here you just like adjust some values and then just a scale, you click calculate again.
I mean, shit, if I knew it earlier, I would have.
Yeah.
I mean, what I did for the, if you go back to my website, I did a few posters for that specifically.
Yeah, down
So,
here, right?
no, up top.
Oh, okay.
So, where it says Rust generation and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah, yeah,
Yep.
yeah, yeah.
So, these were basically like infographics, but I wanted to make them a little more cool looking, I would say.
Mm,
So, for the renders, the first two renders are very basic. I just modeled them.
yeah.
And the last render, which talks about the fractal generation. So there is this dude on YouTube, I forgot his name, but he has this really cool Blender plugin for fractals.
Oh,
And
I think I've seen it. I think I've used it as well. Yeah.
yep, so I basically just dragged the fractal in and I did the material for it.
Yeah.
But that's like the most I did for that because I did not have enough time on me. I think I only had a month to prepare all this.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
But yeah, I also did a whole website where you can type in your name. So my whole concept here was I wanted you to like understand how you can use science and maths in art and also take like a souvenir back
oh, yeah. Oh, that's really cool.
from the exhibition itself.
Yeah.
So I made a website where you can type in your name and it would generate like a poster for you.
Oh, sick. Yeah, I think like yeah, I think we are now we are seeing more and more the influences of like science on art, like especially with like
Mm-hmm.
generative artwork and um
Mm-hmm.
before the stream started we were already talking about like AI and stuff, like and the
Yep.
AI and like the influences on of it on like artists. And we basically
That's
think we both came to like the same conclusion, right, about it.
mm-hmm. I mean, yeah. I if you could like
Yeah, I think like we were talking about like the way. people see AI it's like as an intrusion, or like a danger for them, especially like artists or
Mm-hmm.
like
Yep.
newly starting artists. And I mainly I mainly do 3D stuff, I guess. Yeah, I
Mm-hmm.
work a lot in Blender, and I see like new artists and new designers that use Blender. They're like really scared that AI is gonna take um their job in the end. But
Mm-hmm.
I the way I feel about it is like AI can be such a powerful tool to like quickly conceptualize ideas or like get better inspiration for like setting up composition or perspective or like a general feel for the
Mm-hmm.
scene. That's what I feel that like a lot of new designers that work in 3D are lacking because they just like jump in 3D immediately because it's cool to do and I get it, but it's also like being able to be good in 3D, you need like a basic understanding of like design and like composition. I think it's also like a narrative that like the media nowadays create that like AI is, AI is coming for your job,
Yep.
and it's just I don't know. I think people, of course, they are a little bit scared about it, but you can also like it can be like a really good tool to make your
Yeah. I
work.
mean, again, I think as you mentioned, we were talking about it before too. I feel like you can use it to learn instead of just create. And like there is like no problem with creating art with it or creating something with it. It's the problem where people create art with it and call it their own art, which is I feel like very wrong in a way.
Yeah,
I personally use AI a lot. ChatGPT has been one of my really good friends for the past few years. Not the past few years, but as it came out,
yeah,
because I've been using it with my development stuff. I think I talked about it before too,
yeah,
where instead of going to Stack Overflow searching for my problem, I just give the whole code and my problem to ChatGPT
yeah,
and it helps me solve it. Maybe the answers are not 100% accurate, but they are still pretty good to the point where I have like a base foundation where I could work it
yeah,
off from and get like the next best thing to perfect.
yeah. Yeah, yeah, I think
And
that's yeah, yeah. I think
no, go ahead, go ahead.
yeah, I think like what you said is like people using AI to like because in essence it's like if you think about it, AI uses pieces of information that is already existing, create basically paste that together and to create additional information about that. So, for example,
Mm-hmm.
um, there's if you're gonna ask an AI to create an image, there's gonna be pieces of that created image that are made by somebody else. So
Yep.
you're stealing small pieces of uh, art, and I think with like I think it's difficult to think about like art is like really personal, and I think with like web as well, but like the
Mm-hmm.
way I think yeah, does it feel less like stealing if you AI for web development or for programming?
Not really, because almost every single code, like every single similar code you would see or similar things you would see in code
Yeah.
are basically the same thing written differently. So let's say if I want to do something with like I can't come up with an example honestly right now, but if that made sense, like if you want to do something similar to somebody else, you basically write the same code as them. You can't do it some other way. I mean, there are other ways, but
Yeah.
I think it it just helps you understand a little bit better. I wouldn't say it's stealing, um, personally, because again, like code is just based upon some random words and some random lines and some ones and zeros,
Yeah.
which I think could not be stolen from somebody else. I mean,
Uh,
yeah, that's my take on it, but I feel like a lot of people would argue it once again, because again, all the information on AI, as you mentioned, comes from somewhere on the internet.
Yeah, but I think for like coding it's different because coding is basically saying, well, this plus this equals that, so output this, right? I mean, that's kind of the
Yeah, I mean,
you cannot really say that somebody stole the like a formula from somebody else because it's
yeah,
just
I
like the
mean,
way.
a great analogy for that would be, let's say if you do 1 plus 1 in
Yeah,
code,
yeah.
it's going to still give you 2. Let's say if you want to get 2 in some other way, there is no other way except just typing 2 or adding 1 and 1.
Oh, yeah,
If
exactly.
that
Yeah,
makes sense.
yeah,
But
yeah,
that's how code works,
yeah,
and
yeah,
I feel like that's like the best explanation I could give
yeah,
for
yeah. It makes
AI and code.
yeah, it makes sense. Yeah, yeah. I think well, now we're on the topic of like when it's stealing or not, and like also like what we talked about before, um, like content creation. Like,
Mm-hmm.
you ever feel like you're like because we talked about like you wanting to get on like creating tutorials or like creating
Mm-hmm.
like more like general content,
Mm-hmm.
and do you feel like there's a lot of like copying, like copycatting going on in that area?
In content creation,
Yeah, yeah,
I mean, I feel like there is, but then it's their own way to express it. I feel like where it comes to differ, basically, if that makes sense.
yeah,
Because let's say if you're trying to copy someone else's code, or someone, I mean, sorry, not code, but someone else's content,
yeah,
it also has some sort of personal touch to it which you cannot copy.
yeah,
The way of talking, or something like that. I mean, person still went through the effort of making that video and like copying that video. So I mean, I feel like um I I mean, it is still wrong to do
yeah.
so, but it's I mean, I have like mixed emotions about it, honestly. I'm like bipolar about this topic.
Yeah, well, yeah. The reason why I said it was because I feel like, especially on like Instagram and I guess TikTok, I feel like people are recycling other designers' contents or
Mm-hmm.
content. So, for example, like the ones that I hate the most is like when people make like um a reel and they go like check out these 5 fonts, and they just show fonts. And you go
Mm-hmm.
like, well, you just use the way I think about it, and this might not be like, you know, correct, but like the way I think about it is you're using somebody else's created content that they're like basically put a lot of time in and that they're selling online, and you're using it for free to create your own content.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if
I
how do you think? I'm wondering how you think about it.
I feel like there is like a different term for it. I would say it's more like low effort content instead of I mean, it's both actually, if you're seeing it like that, because I feel like it is also stealing, but also it's like super low effort where you just do like I don't know what is it called, but you do like finger pointing upwards and saying, "Oh, top 5 free fonts
Yeah, yeah,
you can get right
yeah,
now,"
yeah,
and just show a screen with like some stock footage with the font. I
yeah,
feel like that's super low effort.
yeah.
I agree to that. um but there are people where I've seen who go to the effort of making like an actual good poster out of it and showing the font with it,
Hmm.
or their previous work where they show the font with it.
Yeah. I think it's also like there's a really tiny gap between like properly like crediting your like fellow designers and like
Mm-hmm.
not crediting them at all, I think, because
Yep.
sometimes I see like posts of like the reels of people and you have to like and I actually want to find the font,
Yep.
and I have to scroll down to like their description to find like who made it or like go into the comments section to figure out who made the font.
Mm-hmm.
Because most of the times I'm more interested in who made like the font
Exactly.
than using the font because that makes me like discover a new designer that like uh, then again like can inspire me because I think that's what like I feel that's what Instagram is mostly about, and not like getting
Mhm.
inspired by other designers.
Mhm. No, I honestly feel the same way where I honestly want to explore the artist more than the font itself.
Yeah,
Because I feel like the artist could have a lot more good work and not just this font.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, yeah. Because I think I've Remba. Wait, let me come up on the stream. Remba Graham. Do you know him?
Nope.
He makes like really awesome fonts.
Uh, I might have seen him because I go through Instagram just for inspiration, honestly,
Mm,
at this point.
yeah,
I might have seen him, but
he makes just amazing fonts, and I found him through like somebody else's. Uh, Somebody made a post or a
hmm
poster or something, and um, they were like, "Oh, the font, by the way, is by Rembagram on Instagram," and they added him. I was like, "Oh my god, that font is so
hmm
I don't know what it was even." And I was like, "Dude, this is so sick." And then I started following him, and I discovered like a whole new like style of like fonts and like this crazy like I don't know crazy color use and like the shapes and everything. So cool to
hmm
discover. And
I'm actually following them apparently.
oh yeah,
Yeah, see, again, this is the thing because my feed is just like overflown with so much content that I have to
Mhm.
like find. Oh, I think that was the post I saw, the Shine post.
Which one?
I think someone stole their art on Shine.
Oh yeah, yeah,
The
yeah, yeah,
I remember seeing that because
yeah,
I think someone stole their art and put it up there, and I think I was brought to attention to that from I believe like a story or some shit, and
yeah,
that's when I follow them.
yeah,
I don't see them on my like feed so much, but I might have seen them again. Like I might have seen them before, but it just goes unnoticed sometimes.
yeah. I really like this stuff.
Oh yeah, the colors are
Yeah,
great.
this is so good. Like the thing with this is like it's so difficult to pull off because like it's so easy to get this wrong. I feel like,
Mm-hmm.
or at least for
Yeah.
me, it's so uh so easy. This is not like not my
I
style at
mean,
all. So
yeah, someone could like easily recreate it after seeing it, but it's about the style, like creating similar art once again.
yeah,
You can't do that.
no,
You could like replicate the same art,
yeah, yeah,
but
but
they
yeah,
have like nailed it, honestly.
yeah. Yeah, I mean, like, think, okay, so these shapes, this is like, I think like a more ongoing trend, people creating these kind of
hmm
shapes, and I really like it, by the way. I'm not like shitting
I
on it.
did it in my raw project, by the way, where I created those shapes and like I basically so there is this photographic style called urban decay,
Yeah.
and it basically consists of like broken down buildings, rust, and stuff like
Oh
that.
yeah.
So I basically took rust as an image or like as images and like I vectorized them.
Oh yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
So that's how.
yeah. But like adding these like almost cheesy gradients to them makes them so much
Yeah.
cooler. It's so smart. That's so,
I mean, like finding the right use of that cheesy gradient
yeah,
is what you call art there. And
yeah,
some people, again, as you mentioned, get it super wrong sometimes and
yeah,
like do not understand the use case of it.
yeah. I mean, yeah. Like Akira said, like the composition is so difficult to achieve with such
Yeah.
chaotic pieces and it's insane work. I mean, yeah, it's really difficult to recreate. But yeah, this is one of the guys that like really inspired me. Like really,
Mm-hmm.
every once in a while you come across like a designer that like really stimulates your design need.
Mm-hmm.
Like I feel like it's not like sometimes you just create something. Feel I feel like I'm getting like sometimes when I haven't done something in a while, I need to make stuff. That feeling
Mm-hmm.
of like really wanting to get like like really. like into Photoshop or like into 3D and like spend all night
Yeah,
like
exactly.
yeah, that's just such a nice thing about Instagram or like
Yeah,
this.
like these posts like basically not force you but inspire you to explore, I
Yeah.
believe.
Yeah.
Like because at this point you don't have work, you're scrolling through Instagram
Yeah.
instead of wasting that time scrolling and like looking at some, you know what I mean.
Yeah. Yeah.
You could spend some time inside the program, which is very like
Yeah.
again like helps you learn more, I believe.
Yeah, yeah. I think that's also like one of the things that a lot of people forget that you need to spend like hundreds or like thousands of hours in a program to get like actually good at it
Mm-hmm.
because like just like just like knowing how to design
Mm-hmm.
not enough to like completely understand the program and be good at it. You have to like
Exactly. You know, I talk about this so much. So again, as I mentioned, like for the whole 1 year when I was like almost inactive on social media, when I
yeah
was meeting IRL people,
yeah
few of them like so even my classmates, I would say, my batchmates and my classmates, they're unaware of like Photoshop and stuff like that, which is pretty basic when you enter like a art school, I would say.
yeah yeah
Um, but they are super unaware and they keep asking me like for help, which I'm
yeah
very happy to help them with.
yeah
It's just that they don't want to put in the efforts to do it.
yeah
um my only tip to them always is like go inside the program and explore yourself before you come up with some conclusion with it, because some
yeah.
of them are just like, oh, it's super hard, I don't want to learn it no more. I'm like, if that's the case, you chose the wrong field, I suppose.
Well, yeah, that's the thing about like that's a really good point because I think like yo Sohana, up man. Um, yeah, I think
That's one
people.
of my friends.
Oh, really? Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Cool, cool that he's joining. I'm just doing some sculpting, by the way, in the background because like I don't know what else. But like yeah, people.
Oh, a lot of my friends joined apparently. I
Oh,
just
nice.
noticed the chat.
Oh, cool. Like I think I think a lot of people forget that that it's not like easy to make designs or like to make art, you know, because I like mistake myself in it sometimes as well. Like I see something really cool, you know, and I think like, oh, I really want to like try to make this just as like a challenge, and then you start doing it and
Mm-hmm.
you think like, oh my God, I'm never gonna finish it today, and you feel bad about it. But that's like one thing about like social media or like Instagram. You never know how many hours somebody spent on like a piece. It could have been like, I don't know, could have been 4 hours, but it might as well be like 50, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yep, that's very true.
It's like sometimes it's hard to like think, like realize that like some artists, they spend like maybe weeks or like months on like projects, you know, like every,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, like at this point, at this day and age, I would say it has become really easy to do art. And if
yeah,
you know how to use your resources, the programs around you, the tools around you, you could like easily be one of the best designers.
yeah,
But people don't really want to take the effort to like do that, which is
yeah,
insane to me when you call yourself an artist and you don't want to take the efforts
yeah,
doing that.
yeah. Yeah,
I
but
mean,
I do
yeah.
it sometimes as well. I have to admit, you know, like sometimes you see something on Instagram and you go like, "Oh, I want to make this," and then you start to try to make it, and you figure out, "Oh, I'm never gonna be able to make this," and you stop, you stop it, you
But
know?
yeah, but I would not consider myself being that one, but like let's say if you actually went through the effort of opening the program and like
Oh
actually
yeah,
exploring it on
yeah,
yourself,
yeah,
that is still a learning process.
yeah, yeah. I agree. Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, people don't even want to do that, which is still crazy to me when you think about when you call yourself an artist and don't do it. And
yeah.
it's, yeah,
My tablet
I feel
upside
like,
down? Oh no, it's no, never mind. I was trying to set up my my tablet for sculpting, but I thought it was like upside down.
huh? I tried to get into sculpting 2 ages ago.
Yeah, you like it?
Yeah, I didn't work out for me. I feel like illustration and sculpting is something where I lack and I could improve on it. I feel like I lack a lot in traditional art too, which is a problem I'm facing in uni right now because since I'm doing fine arts, it's sort of like a mixture of both digital and traditional art.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
And I think I don't know traditional art that well.
Yeah, like what do you mean with
Like
uh,
actually drawing stuff on pen and paper.
oh, like that. Oh, yeah, okay, yeah. Yeah. I
Yep.
mean, yeah, yeah, I feel the same. Yeah, yeah, I have the same. Like I before I really thought like, oh my God, I have to be like really good at like sketching, or
Mm-hmm.
like drawing stuff and using that in like graphic design, or I have to be good at printing or like know all, you know,
Mm-hmm.
everything about printing, for example. But now I feel like I think it's also like once you're like getting, it's so stupid to say, but like once you're getting like older, you realize that it's not about like how you create something, but like even creating something. I mean, not a lot of people actually create stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yep. That's
I
very
think
true.
that's already like a big step if you start like creating
Yeah.
stuff.
I feel like I was at the same place too when I was thinking that I don't know anything about art and stuff like that. But when I actually tried to do it, it made me realize that I can actually do it. And
Yeah,
I don't know if that made sense, but
yeah,
that's the thing. And like, you can't come to the conclusion before you try it yourself.
yeah,
Which
yeah,
brings me back to the same topic again. Like, people don't want to try stuff and just come to the conclusion directly. Um, and as you mentioned, like printing and stuff like that, I've been learning that and things like that.
hmm,
I think you cannot be good at everything, but
yeah.
you can make an effort to be good at everything, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Well, yeah, exactly. I mean, just yeah, yeah, I know what you mean. Like, it's not about like becoming like an expert sculptor or like an expert like
Yep.
uh drawer, like illustrator on like pen and paper. It's
Mm-hmm.
about like knowing what it's about, I guess. That's
Yep.
like knowing the basics of it and knowing what's possible and everything. I
Yep.
think like a lot of people they like it's about like trying it out and seeing if it's something just just try it out, see where it goes.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's already
I
a
mean,
big step.
yeah, even just knowing the basics like puts you way above the priority scale already
Yeah,
because you already know a lot more than the usual person,
yeah,
right? So
yeah,
even knowing the tiniest bit about something sort of puts you above everyone else.
yeah.
So go explore programs, I would say. Like that's like my one tip I give to almost all my friends who want to get into graphic designing and learn some new stuff. That's how I personally know a lot of stuff in graphic designing too, because I was just exploring programs at this point, and since I had no real client, I used to fake clients.
Oh
I
yeah,
used
yeah,
to I used to do personal projects a lot,
yeah. I mean, we
and
all we all did that, I guess. I think but that's also like really I think I feel like it's really important to like do like fake clients, to like walk
yep,
yourself in your head, like, walk yourself through a process of what it would be like to work with a
yeah.
like an actual client.
I mean, like, let's say if you can't come up with the fake client in your head, go ask your parents or your siblings to be a client
Yeah,
and just
yeah,
not charge them.
yeah,
That's like one of the easiest ways you could like fake a client.
yeah, yeah. It's
That's
funny,
what
but
I've did before.
it's funny, but it's really true actually. Yeah,
Yep.
yeah,
Um, that's that, honestly, that's just a way to learn for
yeah,
yourself when you are actually faced with a real client
yeah,
and when you don't know how to speak to them is a problem.
Yeah.
But when you already have this like fake experience, you could put it into real world
Yeah.
um
I mean,
understanding.
the first
Yep.
client that I had was like the uh the first no that I got was really difficult for me for some reason
Mm-hmm.
because I was working with the client and I was making a logo and they were like, "Oh my God, I really don't like it. This is not like what I was going for," and I was getting so upset, you know? Like, what
Yep.
the fuck? This guy came to me and he wanted my style and I made the style, and it was really difficult process, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
But like once it's also like not about like sometimes you have to realize that it's not about like it's also educating your client about like what works because they they honestly don't know that much about design most of the time. Sometimes you get people
Yep.
that know a lot about design, but most of the times they don't know that much, you know. You have to like show them like what works or like explain them, you know. You have to
Yep.
yeah, you almost have to teach your client in design a little bit as well.
Yep. I think that brings up a very good point too, which I feel like I have personally come to a point where I could convince someone. It's basically how you communicate your idea and how you put your idea to the client is really important too,
Yeah.
because even if it's a bad design, you need to convince them to think it's a good design. Obviously, you're not going to make bad
Yeah.
design for
Yeah.
them.
Yeah.
It's an example I'm giving you guys, but again, it brings the point that if you know how to sell a bad design, you could sell a good design too.
Yeah, yeah, it's about like yeah, yeah, yeah. That's right. Yeah, that's
Yep.
really true. I don't know. I don't have nothing to add to that. That's
Yep. Because communication with your clients or people in general is really important.
yeah,
I feel like I was really socially awkward till the last year, but I still knew how to talk to clients apparently, because I was like, if I meet them IRL, I won't be able to speak my mind out.
yeah,
But if I'm over chat or text, I can say a lot more.
yeah,
I think it was just my social anxiety kicking in, and but yeah.
yeah, yeah. It's yeah,
Yeah, it's I think I don't know how to say your name, but
Akira,
someone in Akira. Okay.
Akira, I think. Yeah,
So yeah, you raise a good point, like learning about marketing basically. Yeah, that is sort of marketing when you marketing your designs basically.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah. We talked about this before as well, like marketing. I lost. Oh, it's about like yeah. So like outdated is now like still studying. You're in the which year of you?
I'm in second
Yeah.
year of uni. So it's like a 4 year course and I'm in the second year.
Yeah, so he's in the second year, so he's like experiencing how to like combine uni work and dining together. And I just finished my studies. That's like they both those things come with like, you know, so many obstacles you can call them, or like
Yep.
yeah. And we were talking also about like how strange some of the jobs uh that you find are for graphic design, for example, because they
Yep.
want you to be like, or from what I've seen, my experience, they're looking for like graphic designers, but the graphic designer also has to be a web developer and video editing. They're
Yep.
nowadays they're basically combining like four people into one.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if they don't realize the value of each of those different disciplines or if they just want to cheap out on us. I don't know.
I mean, I would say it's also a mistake by the market, because people have made it common to be multidisciplinary or multi-talented and different.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't want to brag about it, but I personally do a lot of stuff too. I do 3D, I do normal graphic designing, I do development stuff, I do music as well.
yeah. Now
Uh,
you're bragging.
yeah, maybe, maybe, but it's it's just that it has like the market has made it so common to be multi-talented that now the companies and agencies are looking for people like that too.
Yeah,
They want someone who is like already well versed with almost everything they want.
yeah. I mean, at this point, you have to be, you know, you have to be a graphic designer and a video editor at least, or
Uh-huh.
at least you cannot be just a graphic designer, you know.
Yep. I feel like some of the things come complementary when you choose a specific discipline. Let's say if you're like a video editor or something like that, I think you pretty much know how graphics work too. I
Uh,
feel like.
well, yeah,
Does
yeah.
that make sense? Because I've seen graphic designers do, video editors do a lot of graphic stuff,
Mm-hmm.
not as in like graphic content, but like graphic designing stuff
Yeah,
in their videos. And I've also seen like you doing 3D, you know a little bit about textures and images.
yeah,
That also makes you like a graphic designer because now you can go into applications and manipulate those apps.
yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah, that's true. But like, I feel it's, on the other hand, I feel like it's kind of like it's almost like an insult, you know, to the job of graphic designer because they,
Yeah, that is I mean, again, like not to throw shade on anyone,
uh,
there are some really good graphic designers who are only been like doing graphic designing for
well,
ages.
yeah.
Mm.
That's true.
But at this point, like at this day and age, I feel like um it is so common that if you know video editing, you must know graphic designing.
Yeah.
But it cannot be taken in like it cannot be taken in the other way. When you know graphic designing, you must know video editing, if that makes sense. It cannot
Uh,
be
yeah,
both ways, I feel like.
yeah, yeah. But yeah, I don't know. It's just
Some of the things has like made it a requirement, and some of them don't even really need it, but if you know them already, it's better for you, I believe.
yeah, but yeah, yeah. But now that I think about it, like we were discussing this before too. Like this is, I think, also one of the reasons that, or a lot of designers or like artists start to do content because they feel like that's an easier addition to their like workflow, generate
Arsenal.
content out of that and earn money basically. Because that's
Mm-hmm.
what we've been like talking about and we're actually right now. Funnily
Yep.
enough, you know, you talked a little bit about it, right?
Yeah, I mean, again, like if you want to do content, I feel like there has to be some sort of base or some sort of value that you bring to that content. I I personally would not watch someone who is just like copying somebody else
Yeah,
until and unless I know somebody else who already does it. Does that make sense?
yeah. Yeah, yeah, I guess so.
Um,
Yeah,
it's again, it just brings me to the point of copying, stealing, adding your own essence to it.
yeah,
Um, Content in general is becoming super common at this point. Like, I think I I don't remember this exactly, but I saw this a really super young designer who is like, I believe like 16, 17, who started designing like few months back, but is already doing content and is making like the most basic Photoshop tutorials
yeah.
ever. But they just help the um I would say a common man to do their job. I don't know how to explain it well. It's basically
But it's yeah, I know what you mean. It's like really basic tutorials, but they are still used that
who
much.
don't
Yeah,
have any knowledge about designing. Yes.
yeah, exactly.
So I feel like that is a really good way to, if you want to like profit out of it, that is a really good way of profiting out of it.
Yeah.
I feel like sharing your learning experience also helps, where you explain your struggles and help them, because I feel like if you experienced it, someone else did as well, and
Oh yeah. Oh
you could
yeah, yeah, for sure. Yeah.
basically help them out with it.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, yeah, yeah. Yeah, I completely agree because there's so many like challenges like we talked about like finishing university or like
Yep.
any education as a designer or an artist and then going into the field and then finding what you actually want to do as a job
Mm-hmm.
because most um most um Akira is messaging me that my voice volume is too high, so I'm just adjusting stuff in the meantime. But
Okay.
yeah. Um what was I talking about? Most
You face obstacles while
oh
doing uni.
yeah, because like I feel like in university you're really trained to be like as creative as possible, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and to really think out there and like have think in like without limitations. And then when you go into the field, you feel like you have to like go back a little bit, you know, you have to like be less like see more limits because you don't want to be like now. Okay, so for example, I'm making my portfolio, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I'm uh, I'm trying to make a portfolio that resembles like that would attract studios or companies to hire me. And when I go through my stuff, I go like, oh my God, this is way too, you know, this is way too out there.
Basic.
Yeah, no, yeah, not like opposite of basic. Like I don't know, like if I go through my Instagram page, you know, there's a lot of stuff that I don't want to add for some reason. Like this stuff, I don't know, I wouldn't want to add this because I would go, you know, what would they think about that, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Or like this, or like I don't know, they would just think, oh, it's another one of those Instagram designers.
Yep. I mean, I, I have a good argument to make here. I feel like it's also your style. It's not you being like, not to say you are an average designer, but it's, if they think that you are an average designer, I think that's their loss. Because you have your own art style which you follow, you have your own workflow which you
Yeah,
follow.
yeah,
So that does not make you an average designer.
no, yeah,
I
yeah,
feel like
yeah,
um there is a lot more, like, I would say, if if you want your portfolio to be more, I don't know how to put it in words, but if you want client agencies or companies to look at your portfolio, you have to make your portfolio be able to be looked by agencies, if that makes sense, because
yeah, yeah,
agencies have like a very niche
yeah,
or sometimes super vague genre of work they do. And I feel like if you can add to that, it helps you a lot more.
yeah,
um like picking out specific uh work or general work that you have done for people also helps
yeah,
attract those clients. See,
yeah,
I personally done a lot more clients. I've personally done a lot more websites than this. I personally done a lot more graphics than this, obviously, for the past 7 years.
mm,
But I don't personally like to put them in there because I feel like that would, again, like as you mentioned, would make me like any other designer out there.
yeah, yeah. I feel the
So,
same, yeah. I had like I had an interview with a studio and they recommended that they were like, yeah, well, you can make nice stuff, but like, what's the thought behind it? You know, we want to see like we want to see more a process side of things of your
mm-hmm,
graphics. Like, show me your sketches, show me like your. And this is one thing that they really pressed in university for me. Like,
yep,
show your process. You know, we want to see how you work. And then, for some reason, when you stop. doing uni and you go back to like the, let's say, quote unquote real world, you forget that it's important to like include process, in your
Mhm. You
portfolios.
you actually make a really good point there, because before I got into uni, I just used to put my work out there.
Yeah.
And I had this Instagram poll like ages ago, whether I should do case studies about my project,
Hmm. Oh
or
yeah.
I should do individual images as projects.
Yeah. Yeah.
And majority of them said case studies, because they would like to see the process behind it.
Yeah.
And now that you have also mentioned it inside uni, I feel like I personally learned that from uni, and from only a single year going to uni, they care a lot more about the process, which is one of my professors have been talking about
Yeah.
as well. The
Yeah.
same professor who organized the exhibition itself.
Oh yeah. Cool.
I feel, yeah, he talks a lot about process, where how you should focus on process more than the final outcome.
Yeah.
Your final outcome can be shit, but if your process is good, that might add value to your final outcome.
Yeah. 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 I completely agree. Yeah. Where's the color? Oh, the color palette. Oh. Okay.
Akira said adding those also makes them see how versatile you are. They are not necessary all the same styles, but have variety to it. That is very true as well,
Yeah.
where you add variety to your work. So that's why I've been like, um if you didn't notice, I had like two development projects already. I was going to add another one, but I was like, if I add another development project, I would look like a web developer, which I'm not.
Oh
I'm
yeah.
a
Yeah.
developer and a designer.
Yeah.
So I had to put some work out there too. So that's why I ended up putting like a art exploration.
What's going on with my tablet? The fuck?
uh,
It died?
Blender being buggy, maybe.
Um, eh, I think it's Blender being buggy or it's crashing on me.
Save your project, bro.
Oh, save it. I already saved it. What the fuck? Oh yeah, here we go. Yeah, save it
uh,
just in case.
I've been I recently got back to Blender
Yeah.
just to try out Octane,
Oh yeah, yeah. Cool. Yeah.
because all my old or ex PCs, I would say,
Yeah.
were not that good to run Octane or even Cycles actually.
Really?
Yeah. But I
Yeah.
recently got a super nice Mac, so I am running Octane like
Oh,
on like full speed.
you're running
And
Mac?
yeah, I
Really?
recently
Oh.
switched to a Mac.
Oh my
Yeah.
God. How is it?
It's actually pretty nice. I've
Yeah?
seen people. Yeah, it's
Oh,
nice.
I'm gonna
Uh,
mold. I'm gonna be mad. I hate Mac.
I mean, you can be, but the thing is, it gets my job done. And the best part about this is it's worse. It's like portable. That's
Yeah,
the
yeah, that's
thing
true.
I
Yeah.
wanted since the start. I had a PC like like the worst PC you can get on the market. I graphic designed on there for like 4 5 years, I believe.
Hmm.
I got a laptop. I designed on there for a year, and then I switched to this Mac.
Oh.
The laptop was as too. It had like a super bad mobile GPU.
Oh
I
yeah.
was running cycles of my processor, which uh,
Yeah,
which
yeah.
ran out of memory to render the image.
Oh my. Yeah. I
One of
mean,
my renders actually took 72 hours for like I don't know, like 40 frames, I
oh really?
believe.
What the fuck?
Yeah, it was super bad.
Yeah, that sucks.
But now that I have like a super cool ass Mac with the student discount I got on it, it's
Yeah.
good.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
It's
the
good,
student discount is nice. Yeah, I use that as well too. Well, I
bro.
I figured out like my brother-in-law told me about setting up your own like company and then
Hmm.
using your own company to like subtract taxes from like everything you buy.
Yep.
So I was like,
I,
okay, yeah, I work as a graphic designer, I make some money with it. I'm gonna set up my own company and I'm gonna build the PC with the money that I made as a designer and like subtract all the VAT.
taxes.
All the taxes from it, so it's like 21%
Yep.
cheaper. I was like, oh hell yeah.
We used to have VAT too, but I think I don't know when they introduced this new taxing system, but it's called GST, which is called Goods and Services Tax.
Hmm.
So there is like a really intricate concept behind it. So let's say even if I want to claim those taxes, I
Yeah.
have to be a part of the 18% GST group, which is basically if you have an income of over 1 crore, which is I believe in USD
Yeah.
should be somewhere around. Let me actually search that up. Uh, in USD, that is fuck. So in USD, that is almost $133,000 every
100,
single year.
130. Oh man, that's yeah. That's that's a lot.
Yep. So you have to have an income of $133,000
What the
every
fuck?
single year.
That's so much.
Yeah, that is. But if let's say if you are a business, you have to like that's I don't know if I mean my brother has a business which does a lot more than that.
Hmm?
So he comes under this 18% group
Yeah.
where he could show business expenses and
Hmm.
claim those taxes.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean that's really nice.
Yeah, so it is a little different over in India, like
Yeah.
over here, but
But this is because a lot of people were abusing it. I get well, not abusing, just
you
using
could
it.
say so.
Yeah.
But it has also brought a lot of good things to the people because let's say if you are an individual, you could buy shit on low taxes.
Yeah.
Let's say um, if you don't meet a certain income requirement, you don't even have to pay the taxes,
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
which is really good because instead of it being like a very fixed tax on everyone,
Hmm.
it's it's keeping a balance between poor and rich, I believe.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it creates possibilities for
Yep.
people who are more poor. You know.
I mean, let's say if you so this is a thing in India again. So in taxing system and then there is GST. So they both are sort of different if you look at it like that. So there is income tax, which is basically you pay your tax based upon your income, and then there is also GST, which is applied on stuff you buy.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
so income tax, so if you lie under a certain group of uh population where your income is less than $1,000 every 6 months or every month or something like that. I don't remember the exact numbers, but you don't really have to pay taxes then. If you have like a high income and you run a business too, you have to pay a lot more taxes than usual.
Oh yeah. Yeah. That's same here in the Netherlands. In the Netherlands, it's like if you make over like I don't know, like if you go over I think 120K a year, you pay like 56 percent income
Mm-hmm.
tax. Insane. It's good though
Oh,
because I mean, if you earn a lot of money, you
I
gotta
think
better earn a lot of better pay a lot of tax.
56 sounds a lot more than what we have here because I believe the limit is at like 18%
Oh, okay.
of your whole income. So if wait, let me actually get that for you. I think I still have the list somewhere noted down.
Getting economical in there.
No, it's actually good. So this is what I learned very late too. I feel like understanding your income is really not your income, but your money in your country itself is really important too. And my dad and my brother have been helping me with that.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Well, especially like as a, I think as a designer, like get realizing where you make like where your money comes from, where you should like put it back into, you know, because this is
Mm-hmm.
I think this is one of the most important things. Like if you realize, if you start to figure out where you're making your money, you know where to like pump it back
Mm-hmm.
into, you know.
Mm-hmm.
If that makes sense.
Yeah, that does make a lot of sense. So okay, I found the list.
Yeah.
Um, so let's say if you make uh $3,000 a year, you have to pay no taxes at all.
Okay.
But so this changes depend every single year, by the way.
Okay.
Um, and the highest you go is 30% tax, which is on $18,000 or yeah, $18,000 a year.
Okay. Oh damn. 80?
So you no 18
Oh,
one
okay.
eight.
Okay. Okay.
So if you make $18,000 a year, you pay 30% taxes.
But this is
But
like,
like,
yeah, $18,000 dollars is different there, right? Then
yep, it
yeah.
is way different here.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So, but like people do so after this threshold, you can make like a you can make like $100,000
Yeah.
and you would still pay only the 30%.
Yeah. 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 Exactly. Yeah. 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 That makes sense. That's sick.
Yep. But that's like the 30% of your 100,000 itself.
Yeah.
So that does take a big toll on your whole income, but it does still make sense, I believe.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it kind of makes, yeah, it kind of makes sense.
I mean, it's not super high as you guys where it is at like 50%.
Yeah. Over here, it's insane. It's good. At least it's good, I think,
But that's
because
like taking half your money. How's
yeah,
that?
yeah. Fuck it.
Yeah,
I mean, otherwise the rich just keep getting richer and richer. You know,
that's true.
that's one thing that tax the rich. Yeah, you get
Yep.
like the get America or like USA, like
I mean, if you don't know about Dubai,
oh yeah, I
they
know about Dubai.
they are literally tax free. They don't have to pay taxes at all.
Well, yeah, dude, I know a guy who works there for like half a year each year. You know,
Mm-hmm.
and he just goes there just to like earn a shitload of money like really quick.
Yeah, that's.
I-
I
I-
feel like you could open a business in Dubai and like make a shitload of money.
Yeah, he hates it because he has to work a lot because he's like IT, like cybersecurity something. I don't know.
You know what I've heard? Most of the IT people tend to go to Dubai because they could easily make money there while just sitting at home because they
Yeah,
have to sit on their computer and just code honestly,
yeah,
which makes them a lot more money because what I've seen recently is all these like web developers come from Dubai
yeah.
apparently.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, they're American but they are in Dubai.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Exactly.
Weird.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
That's low key smart, not gonna lie. It is
yeah,
smart.
yeah.
That's I feel like you could do the same in your country too if you understand again, if you understand the economy well.
Oh, I messed up.
Not saying you like fuck the government up with like not paying the taxes or doing some uh like wrong shit, but you obviously have other ways to find loopholes.
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
Bro, I sound like such a smuggler now.
dude, it's like this is like those YouTube ads that you get. You want to make a lot of money in like 20 hours. Follow this one plan that I
Yeah,
made.
that's bull crap. Don't do
Yeah,
that. I
yeah,
swear to God, that's like I mean like that's scam in a plain sight. You should understand it's a scam
yeah.
just by looking at it.
A friend of mine
Some
fell
people,
for it. He
yeah,
it cost him like 3,500 euros because he believed in it. He was like, "Oh
damn,
yeah, this sounds legit," and then he lost his money. So stupid.
it's crazy.
Yeah,
I've seen a lot of people go down like that, where
yeah,
they just go into depth loop, where they take depth from somebody else to pay some other depth they
yeah.
had before.
But you know what's funny? This is like we were talking about it just before. Like, there's no easy way to get rich, just as there's no easy way to become good at designing. You know, there's no shortcuts. There's no like quick way to become a really good like uh Instagram designer and get like really quick clients. You know, stuff like that.
Mhm.
It doesn't exist, and people still fall for it, or people still believe it.
Mm-hmm.
I think
Yeah,
like the clickbait titles on YouTube, do these simple steps to get Disney as a client,
but th- like if you talk about YouTube, I believe that it's smart to do that. I don't know if you know the YouTuber called Arak.
Eric?
Yeah, I feel like he has done so good with his content that I think it's unbeatable to like I don't think so somebody would come close to him.
Can you link it? I
Um
wanna pull it up on the stream now. I'm
he's like
curious.
this huge YouTuber.
Eric. What do you,
It's Air and Rack. I think he started with like uh just a second. Uh, there you go.
okay, let me wait. Save Blender first. Very important. You never know.
He does a lot of Mr. Beast style videos, honestly.
Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But he has understood YouTube so well because before he started doing these like Mr. Beast style videos, he just used to juice off I think Logan Paul, I believe. And I think that's where he started getting his attention from too.
Yeah. Yeah, I
But
mean, yeah.
yeah, he understood like YouTube so well to the point that he was able to like market of it
Yeah.
and even make a audience out of it too.
Yeah.
I mean, I was a watcher before, but as soon as he started doing videos like Mr.
Yeah.
Beast, I stopped watching him.
Yeah, I mean it's about like getting to know the algorithm and shit. That's like there's a
Yeah,
sort of meta to it. But that's yeah. I,
but you don't like you're not born with it. You need to have this understanding of the platform itself
yeah, yeah,
to
exactly.
be able to do stuff like that.
Well,
It's
it takes a lot of practice and a lot of
yeah,
like getting to know the platform, seeing how the algorithm reacts and everything. It's not like something that
it's
like
it is like a cheat code, but then it took time to come to that final cheat code, I would say. It's like
yeah, exactly. Yeah, yeah. I know what you mean. Yeah. It's not
yeah, you
like
spend like hours and hours understanding what's going on,
yeah,
and then you just have this like perfect master plan at the end. The
yeah, yeah.
first to do it wins sort of deal.
Well, yeah, that's another thing. Like, if you're like the first one to come out with like a new type of like font or like a new type of like design, that's where
Hmm.
the m- that's like where the money is. That's where you have a
Yeah,
golden opportunity. And like, if you're a little
yeah.
bit too late, same with like YouTube, you don't get as many clicks or like views. It's oh, that's really bright. I made that way too bright, I think. Yeah, I mean, I gotta go in like a few minutes, but I,
Hmm.
yeah. It was really nice talking to you, man. It was
Likewise, bro.
yeah, yeah,
I I feel like these conversations are so important because I feel like a lot more people can join in about this too,
yeah,
not just me.
yeah.
I feel like me being a student and a designer have this like student designer mindset right now.
Mm,
But someone like you, who is a little more experienced, who just finished uni and stuff like that, could
mm,
talk about this a lot more
yeah.
and in more depth. This is what I have learned personally over the years. Being a self-taught designer, I feel like there is a lot of stuff you can learn.
Well, yeah, and I think as well, like that the most important thing about it is that all the people that do something like creatively, all basically go through the same thought process. They experience the same uh like fears or they experience like the same stuff generally.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the more like you talk about it, the more people like the less you feel alone. Like especially
Yeah,
people who are
exactly.
and
I feel like sharing problems is the number one thing you could do as a human being, not just design, but any sort of problem.
yeah,
Go talk to someone you know well.
yeah,
Helps you, bro. It
yeah, and
helps you.
and it makes you feel less. you know, I want to say pathetic, but that's not the right word. Like sometimes you feel really sad for yourself, but then you hear
Yeah, you
somebody
feel
else.
terrible for yourself.
Yeah, yeah, you feel sorry for yourself, but then somebody else say, "Well, I've had that happen too," and you go like, "Oh, okay, I'm not so
Okay,
special.
yeah,
I'm not so special then. Somebody else had it too." I mean, that makes me feel so much better all the time, you know.
yeah.
And as,
Again, like,
yeah,
yeah, sorry, go ahead.
no, especially, and then if you take that and you go to design, you know, specifically design, you see that almost everybody follows the same process, you know. They start
Mm-hmm.
designing, they see all this cool stuff. They also want to make cool stuff. They start making it. They figure out that they are like not able to make as cool stuff now
Yep,
as they are seeing. Then they keep trying, and it's still not working. That they kind of figure out how to make all the cool stuff that they saw, and
yep.
then they quit for a little bit, and then they go back to it, and then this is where like people take like one or two paths, you know. Some people keep going with it and they follow through and they can do it, and the
Yep.
other people they quit because they didn't have like other people to talk to about it, or they didn't have like the motivation. But, like
Mm-hmm.
I think if there's like more openness about it, then people are more likely to follow through in like their
Yeah,
dreams, you know, in becoming like a creating stuff, because in the end that's what it's about, like being happy creating stuff, I guess.
couldn't agree more. Like, I honestly have nothing to add to it again. Like, I mean,
Yeah,
if
yeah,
I have to personally say anything, I would just say go share your problem with your friends and family if you
yeah,
have something in it.
yeah,
And I mean, just talk about it.
yeah,
And taking breaks is important too.
yeah, yeah. And like you said, like like if you share, for example, like you said about like asking your friends or family to make like to be a fake client for them, or to
Yep.
be like a client. I mean, that's the same as like sharing and like asking for help. That's so important to
Yeah,
do,
exactly.
and so easy as well if you ask like your families or whatever.
Exactly. You don't have to go like find someone to be your fake client.
Yeah,
They are
yeah,
right in front of you, which is
yeah,
the best part about it.
yeah, yeah. All right, I'm gonna have to call it a day. I have to log off for now. But yeah,
Likewise, bro.
yeah.
I might not sleep tonight after this conversation and after the monster I had.
Yeah, he's yeah. What time is it for you now?
It's 1 a.m.
1 a.m. Yeah, okay, it's
Yeah.
almost 10 for me. But yeah, I want to
Oh,
thank Outdated a lot for joining us on the first stream. It was really cool talking to you. Really nice.
thanks for inviting me,
Yeah,
honestly, and letting me speak
yeah,
my mind out.
yeah. No problem. I think most people will wait. I'll post your website in the
Oh,
chat if people wanna. I don't know if people are still watching, but I will post your Instagram as well. Go follow him and
thank
make sure to tune in for the next time. I'll probably start doing this every Monday, and then
bro. I'm
it,
honestly, if you allow me to, I'm
yeah,
down to join you every single stream because
yeah,
I like speaking my mind out.
cool, cool, cool. Yeah, for sure. Like
I mean, I don't know if it's possible for me to do it too. I just had this like day before my uni starts,
oh
so
yeah,
it was
yeah,
like the perfect time to join in.
yeah,
But yeah.
yeah. Just yeah. This like this ID for the people that don't know, this ID grew from the Chrome type Discord, or mainly I've been talking with like people in there. So if you're
Hmm.
interested, join the Chrome type Discord, and I will announce my streams for sure in there. And yeah, I'm happy to have you again, Outdated Man. That would be really nice. Like everybody's welcome to join. If you want to join, just give me a message and like,
Likewise, man.
yeah, I don't care if there's like 10 people in there. That would be so cool. Just discussing everything.
Yeah,
Yeah,
bro.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's it's so it's actually good to have so many people in there because now we have
Uh,
different perspectives.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Like, yeah, now it's just like two people like discussing it, and I think if you have more people, you have
Yeah.
more different opinions, and that only, I think that's only better, like different opinions, because you get like different
Yep.
perspectives on different problems. Yeah. All right.
Yep.
Yeah. Thanks again, man. And I'll be here next Monday again. So I'll see you guys.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Have a nice one, guys.
Yeah.
If anyone's watching.
Yeah.
Bye.
If anything. Bye.